October 15th, 2023, the day my world flipped upside down, and I decided to fight back. Picture this. A quiet suburban home, credit cards maxed out, secrets piling up like unpaid bills. I never imagined I'd become the mastermind behind a plan so clever, so risky, it could shatter my marriage, or save it. What if your partner's hidden habit was destroying everything you built? Would you sit back or take control? That's the thrill you're about to dive into. If suspenseful twists get your heart racing, hit that like button now and subscribe for more edge-of-your-seat stories that hit close to home. You won't want to miss what comes next. I'm Mark Thompson, your everyday guy. A 42-year-old accountant from Chicago, married for 12 years to Sarah, the love of my life. But let me pull back the curtain. I'm not just the devoted husband anymore. No, I'm the one who saw the danger coming and stepped up to stop it. You see, Sarah's shopping wasn't just a hobby. It was a beast devouring our future. I'd come home to boxes hidden in closets, her eyes darting away when I'd ask about the bank statements. At first I laughed it off. Hey, who doesn't love a little retail therapy? But soon the fear crept in. What if we lost our house? Our savings? Our trust? I reveal myself here. I'm the architect of the lesson that changed it all. Not out of anger, but out of love so fierce it demanded action. Feel that excitement building? That's the rush of knowing one bold move can rewrite your story. Now, let's set the stage for this thriller. Shopping addiction isn't some rare villain. It's lurking in homes across America, hitting millions like a silent storm. Did you know, back in 2023, studies showed up to 10% of folks battled compulsive buying, racking up debt that crushes dreams? That's where we were headed. Late nights arguing over receipts, me working extra shifts to plug the holes, her promising just one more sale. But I couldn't watch her spiral anymore. The urgency hit me like a freight train. Act now, or lose everything. And here's the twist that hooks you. What if the cure was tougher than the disease? Imagine staging a wake-up call so real, it blurs the line between help and heartbreak. Sounds crazy, right? But stick with me, because the real suspense starts when I put my plan in motion. What did I do? You'll feel the fear, the thrill as it unfolds. But first, ask yourself, could you pull the trigger on a lesson this intense? Okay, buckle up, because this is where the story gets real. October 15th, 2023, was just the spark. Now you're about to see how deep Sarah's shopping addiction ran, how it pushed me to the edge, and how I started crafting a plan so wild it could either save us or break us. You ever feel like you're watching a train wreck in slow motion? That's what living with Sarah's addiction felt like. If you're loving this suspense, smash that like button and subscribe, because the twists are only getting crazier. First, let me paint the picture of how Sarah's shopping took over. It wasn't just a few extra dresses or a shiny new gadget. No, this was next level. I'd find packages stuffed behind the couch, in the garage, even under our bed. Boxes of shoes, handbags, stuff she'd never even opened. By mid-2023, we were drowning in $20,000 of credit card debt. 20 grand! Can you feel that pit in your stomach? I'd check our bank account at night, heart pounding, watching our savings vanish like smoke. Sarah would smile, say, "Mark, it's just one sale. I'll stop." But her eyes told a different story. Guilt, shame, and this desperate need she couldn't explain. I'd ask, "Why, Sarah?" And she'd shrug, like she was chasing a high she couldn't catch. Ever know someone who's lost to something they can't control? It's terrifying. And here's a pattern interrupt for you. Imagine finding a $500 coat hidden in your kid's toy box. Laughable, right? Until you realize it's your life savings on the line. The impact hit us like a storm. Our marriage, once all laughter and late-night talks, turned into a battlefield. I'd come home from 12-hour shifts, exhausted, only to find another delivery truck pulling away. We'd argue, her voice sharp, mine pleading, "Sarah, we can't afford this!" She'd storm off, and I'd sit there, staring at bills we couldn't pay. Our kids, Emma and Jake, started noticing. Mom and Dad weren't okay. That fear that we might lose our home kept me up at night. I worked overtime, took side gigs, anything to keep us afloat. But it wasn't enough. By September 2023, we were one missed payment away from disaster. And Sarah? She was scrolling shopping apps in secret, like an addict hiding a bottle. You feel that urgency yet? That's when I knew. Love wasn't enough to fix this. I had to act, and fast. Ever wonder how far you'd go to save someone you love? Bet you're curious what I did next. Here's where the suspense kicks in. I couldn't just beg her to stop. She was too deep in the addiction's grip. So, I started planning something drastic, something to shock her awake. I won't spill the whole scheme yet, but picture this. Me, sitting at our kitchen table, plotting a move so bold it felt like I was in a heist movie. I'd drop hints to Sarah, testing her. What if we lost everything? I'd ask, watching her face pale. She'd laugh it off, but I saw the fear flicker. That's when I knew my plan could work. A little deception, a lot of love, and a whole lot of risk. Sound thrilling? It was, but it also scared me to death. What if she hated me for it? What if it backfired? Ha! Who plans a marriage-saving stunt like it's a spy mission? Me, apparently. Stick around, because the real drama hits when I pull the trigger on this plan. Can you guess what I did to make Sarah face the truth? Keep watching. This cliffhanger's worth it. Alright folks, we're diving into the heart of the storm now. October 15th, 2023 wasn't just a date. It was the day I, Mark Thompson, set my plan in motion to shake Sarah out of her shopping addiction. The stakes? Our marriage, our home, our future. You're about to feel the fear, the thrill, and the raw suspense of what happened when I flipped the script on her. Ever wonder how far you'd push someone you love to save them? If your pulse is racing, hit that like button and subscribe. This ride's about to get wilder. Let's kick this off with the plan I cooked up. By late September, I was done pleading. Sarah's shopping was a runaway train. $25,000 in debt. Secret credit cards, even our kids' college fund touched. So, I decided to stage a wake-up call she couldn't ignore. Picture this. I faked a financial crisis. I worked with our bank to freeze our accounts, created a mock bankruptcy notice with a friend's help, and redirected her shopping app notifications to my phone. On October 15th, I sat her down at our kitchen table, heart pounding like I was about to rob a bank. "Sarah," I said, voice steady but insides churning. "We're broke. Your shopping, it's wiped us out." I slid the fake notice across the table, showing a zero balance. Her face went white, like she'd seen a ghost. Can you feel that fear? I hated lying, but love makes you do crazy things. I needed her to feel the weight of her addiction, to see the cliff we were teetering on. Ever lie to someone to save them? Bet it felt like walking a tightrope. That's where I was, balancing love and deception, praying it wouldn't backfire. Sarah's reaction? Pure chaos. She stared at the notice, hands shaking, and whispered, "This can't be real." Then came the tears, the panic. "Mark, how could you let this happen?" She screamed, as if I was the villain. I wanted to hug her, tell her it was fake, but I had to stay strong. She stormed to her phone, tried logging into our bank app. Locked. I'd changed the passwords. Her eyes flashed with betrayal. "You did this?" She spat, voice sharp enough to cut glass. I nodded, calm but dying inside. "You need to see what's at stake, Sarah." She didn't speak to me for hours, pacing the house, checking her shopping apps, only to find them blocked. That's when the denial kicked in. "I'll fix this," she muttered, grabbing her purse to head to the mall. "Oh, you think that's bold? Wait for it." Here's a pattern interrupt. Imagine your spouse thinking a new handbag could solve bankruptcy. Sounds insane, right? But that's addiction for you, dragging her deeper while I watched, heart in my throat. The conflict exploded when Sarah hit the mall. I'd tipped off a cashier friend to decline her card, part of the plan. She stood at the counter trying to buy a $200 scarf when the cashier said, "Sorry ma'am, it's declined." The line behind her stared, whispers spreading like wildfire. Sarah's face burned red. She called me, voice shaking with fury. "Mark, what did you do?" I stayed cool, though my stomach churned. "It's the truth, Sarah. We're out of money." She hung up, humiliated, and came home in tears. That moment, her standing in our doorway, broken, was when I almost cracked. Should I tell her it was a setup? But I held firm, knowing she needed this pain to wake up. Ever feel that rush when a plan works, but it hurts like hell? That's where I was, caught between triumph and guilt. The suspense was killing me. Would she see the truth, or hate me forever? As the days passed, the tension cranked up. Sarah tried everything, calling the bank, begging for loans, even asking her sister for cash. Each dead end was my design, pushing her to face the addiction. One night, she found a box I'd hidden. Every receipt from her purchases, taped together in a roll that stretched across our living room. $30,000 worth of proof. She sank to the floor, sobbing. "How did I do this?" she whispered. That was my cue, but I didn't reveal the truth yet. I knelt beside her, heart racing, and said, "We can fix this, but you have to want it." Her eyes met mine. Fear, shame, but a flicker of fight. Was she ready to change, or would she push back harder? Here's the cliffhanger. What happens when she discovers my lie? Will it break her or break us? You're not going to believe the next twist. Keep watching to see how this gamble plays out. All right, we're at the edge of the cliff now, folks. October 2023 is burning bright in my memory. And the plan I set in motion to snap Sarah out of her shopping addiction is about to hit its breaking point. My heart's racing just reliving it. Imagine pulling off a stunt so bold it could save your marriage or torch it to ashes. You're in for the most intense 6 minutes yet, packed with truth, tears, and a twist that'll leave you reeling. If this suspense is gripping you, smash that like button and subscribe, because this climax will blow your mind. It all came to a head one chilly evening, October 20th, 2023. Sarah was a wreck after days of blocked cards, declined purchases, and that damning roll of receipts I'd laid out. $30,000 of her shopping addiction staring her in the face. She was sitting on the couch, eyes red from crying, when I knew it was time to drop the bomb. I took a deep breath, my pulse hammering like I was about to confess a crime. "Sarah," I said, voice low but firm, "we're not bankrupt. The bank notice, the frozen accounts, it was all fake. I did it to show you where your shopping was taking us." Her head snapped up, eyes wide with shock, then fury. "You lied to me?" she shouted, standing so fast the couch slid back. "Can you feel that betrayal?" I hated seeing her hurt, but this was the moment, her chance to face the truth. I held up the real bank statement, showing we still had savings, barely. "I had to make you feel the fear, Sarah. We were this close to losing everything for real." Ever pull the rug out from someone you love, hoping they'd land on their feet? That's where I stood, heart in my throat. Sarah's reaction was a storm of emotions, anger, relief, shame, all crashing together. She grabbed the statement, hands trembling, and saw the truth. We weren't broke, but we were dangling by a thread. "How could you do this, Mark?" she sobbed, voice breaking. "You made me think we'd lost our home, our kids' future." I stepped closer, risking her pushing me away. "I did it because I love you," I said, my own eyes stinging. "Your shopping was killing us, and begging wasn't enough." She sank back onto the couch, clutching the statement like it was a lifeline. Here's a pattern interrupt. Imagine staging a fake crisis, only to realize you might have broken trust for good. Pretty wild, huh? But in that moment, I saw something shift in her eyes. A flicker of understanding, like she was finally seeing the monster her addiction had become. The suspense was electric. Would she hate me, or would this be the wake-up call we needed? The real climax hit when Sarah spoke, voice barely a whisper. "I didn't know it was this bad," she said, staring at the receipts. "I thought I was just coping, but I hurt you, the kids, us." Tears streamed down her face, and for the first time, she wasn't hiding. I knelt beside her, heart pounding with hope and fear. "We can fix this together," I said, "but you have to want it." She nodded, slow at first, then firm, like a switch had flipped. She grabbed my hand, squeezing hard. "I'm so sorry, Mark, I need help." That moment, Her raw, honest admission was the victory I'd gambled everything for. But the thrill wasn't over yet. Could we really climb out of this mess? Or had my deception left scars too deep? Picture that tension, that razor's edge between ruin and redemption. It's the kind of rush that keeps you glued to a story, right? As we sat there, the weight of her words sank in. Sarah wasn't just apologizing. She was waking up. She admitted her shopping was a crutch, tied to stress and insecurities she'd buried. I felt a surge of relief, but also dread. Had I pushed her too far? Her trust in me was shaky, and we had a long road ahead. The air was thick with what-ifs. What if she relapsed? What if she couldn't forgive my lie? Here's the cliffhanger to keep you hooked. As Sarah vowed to change, something unexpected loomed. A secret she'd been hiding that could unravel everything. What was it? And would it destroy the progress we'd just made? You won't believe what's coming. Stay tuned for the final act. We've reached the final stretch. Folks, and let me tell you, the air in our house after October 20th, 2023 was charged with hope, fear, and a promise to rebuild. I'm Mark Thompson, the guy who faked a financial crisis to snap my wife Sarah out of her shopping addiction. That moment when she admitted she needed help, it was like the sun breaking through a storm. But the real question was, could we climb out of this mess for good? Or was there another twist waiting to derail us? If you're hooked on this roller coaster, hit that like button and subscribe, because this resolution is packed with heart, grit, and a lesson you won't forget. After Sarah's tearful confession, we got to work. First, she agreed to therapy, a huge step. She started weekly sessions to dig into why she shopped, unraveling years of stress and insecurity she'd buried under shiny packages. Watching her face those truths was like seeing a warrior rise. We sat down together and built a budget, something we hadn't done in years. Picture this. Us at the kitchen table, laptops open, cutting up her credit cards like we were in a heist movie. Sounds dramatic, right? But here's a pattern interrupt. Imagine slicing up a card that spent $1,000 on shoes, feeling both free and terrified. Sarah sold half her closet online, raising $3,000 to chip away at our $30,000 debt. Each sale was her saying, I'm done with this. Our marriage. It wasn't perfect, but it was healing. We started talking again, really talking, about our fears, our dreams, our kids. That trust we'd nearly lost, we were rebuilding it, one honest moment at a time. Ever feel that rush when you see someone you love fight back? That's what kept me going. But let's zoom out. This isn't just our story. Shopping addiction hits millions, especially folks like you, age 30 to 60, juggling life's pressures. In 2023, studies said 5 to 10% of Americans battled compulsive buying, racking up debt that steals futures. Sarah's story could be yours, or someone you know. So here's the wisdom we learned. Start small. Track your spending for a week. Bet you'll spot patterns that make your stomach drop. Delete those shopping apps. They're like sirens calling you to crash. Talk to someone, a friend, a therapist, because shame thrives in silence. Sarah's biggest win was admitting she wasn't alone. And here's a tip that saved us. Set one financial goal together, like paying off a single card. It's not just money, it's hope. Ever notice how one small win can spark a fire? That's what carried us forward. And it can for you too. Now here's the secret Sarah had been hiding, the one I hinted at last act. During therapy, she admitted she'd opened a secret credit card, $5,000 deep, that I didn't know about. When she told me, my heart sank, another betrayal. But she looked me in the eye, tears falling, and said, Mark, I closed it. I'm done hiding. That was the real victory. Not my plan, but her choice to come clean. We paid it off together, and it felt like slaying a dragon. By early 2024, we'd cut our debt to $20,000, and Sarah hadn't shopped impulsively in months. Our kids noticed the change. Mom was present, Dad wasn't stressed. We weren't out of the woods, but we were walking hand in hand. That thrill of redemption, of seeing love win, it's why I'm sharing this story. So, what's the takeaway for you? If you're stuck in a cycle, spending, hiding, or even enabling someone else, know this. Change starts with one brave step. Maybe it's a tough conversation. Maybe it's facing the truth. You've got the power to rewrite your story, just like Sarah did. Ever had a wake-up call that changed everything? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone. And if this story hit home, subscribe for more real, raw tales of suspense and triumph. Here's the final cliffhanger. Sarah's still fighting, and so am I. But what's the next challenge we'll face? Stay tuned for more stories that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Thanks for watching, and let's keep this journey going together.